Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Seth from ScreaminFX.com, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about guitar buffers. And basically what I'm going to do is show you what one would sound like, and also show you how to test to see what your guitar would sound like if you did actually have a buffer in place, and how to test some of the differences for yourself. And the way that we'll do this is to be able to check to see what a short chord versus a long chord sounds like in your guitar. It's actually pretty interesting how different your guitar will sound. So what we'll do for you to test out is you start with some kind of short 1-foot chord. And so what we'll do is we'll play the guitar directly into the amplifier with a 1-foot chord to see what it sounds like. And the problem with this is that it's really not practical on stage, but what you'll be able to do is hear what your system would sound like with a small, least amount of loss. Okay, so here's the guitar through a short chord. So what you could do is play that and play for a little while and listen and see what it sounds like to you, and maybe you even want to record it. And then the next thing to try out is to see what your guitar sounds like with your complete pedal chain hooked up. So what you're looking for is to see if there's a noticeable difference that you would want to take out, or just something that you can hear. And so what we'll do is we'll plug in a long 20-foot cord, and this is going into the guitar. And so then that cord is going into a pedal, and this pedal is actually true bypass. So what that means is that right now it's not doing anything. There might be a little bit of capacitance on the board, but it's pretty negligible. And then this is going into another 20-foot cable, and that 20-foot cable is going into the guitar amplifier. And what you're listening for is basically a loss in the treble, and so let's try that out. So now this is a guitar with 40 feet of cable. And so what you could do is listen to see what those two sound like, and what you basically want to do is play with a short chord and then play with your full pedal chain and try to take a listen to see if it sounds different and if you would actually prefer one over the other. And so the thing that we're talking about today are guitar buffers, and so what I thought I would do is show you how a buffer will actually change that sound. So what I have here is a guitar buffer that I make. I call this the Clarionics buffer, and it's just a simple guitar buffer, and the idea is that when you look into it, it presents a high impedance and the output is a low impedance, and what that's good for is to pick up the voltage signal and then to drive the next thing down the line. And so what we'll do with this buffer today is go through the exact same system that we just went through. So what we'll do is we'll take the buffer and we'll put it in front of that long 20-foot cord. And then from the buffer, we'll actually hook up the guitar. And so you'll notice that I used about a 6-foot, one of those curly cords, to plug the buffer in. And so now let's listen to what this sounds like, and then I'll play all three for you next to each other so that you can hear the difference. So this is with the buffer in front of all those chords. Okay, so here's the guitar through a short chord. So now this is a guitar with 40 feet of cable. So this is with the buffer in front of all those chords. And what you'll probably end up noticing is that without the buffer and just the long chords, the guitar will sound a little bit bassier, and you actually lose some of that high-end treble that you'd see either with a buffer or a very short chord. And so there's different debates. Some people actually say that that buffer will sound tinnier, and while others will say that it's actually bringing back the sparkle to your tone. So it's really up to you to decide if it's something that you want. But the way to check it out and see for yourself is to first play with a short chord and then play with a long bunch of chords or your actual pedal system and see with everything turned off if your guitar sounds noticeably different. So hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you back here soon.